What's up everyone? Welcome to the Reading Out Loud Book Club community. I'm Keionna and I'm so glad you guys found your way here. You're always welcome to this channel. I hope this video finds you all well. I cannot believe that it is already fall. It literally just feels like it was 2018 just yesterday, but I'm very pleased with how well this year has aged so far, and we are gradually getting closer to the year 2020. It's like a whole new era, a whole new decade, and I couldn't be more happier about that. Today I'm sharing my fall TBR pile with you all, so I'm going to be showing you guys all the books and novels I plan to read this season and for the remainder of the year pretty much. So you all might want to grab some popcorn, pour a glass of wine, and stick around for a while because I'm going to be talking about quite a few different books in this video. So without any further ado, y'all know the rest. Let's get into these books, shall we? Starting with my current read, The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. I'm reading this book for FaerieAthon, and this is a way overdue read for me because we began reading this book last month in September and it is currently October, but we're just going to overlook that for the sake of this video. And this beautiful cover, I love this cover surprisingly, even though it's like really like mossy and like grassy and all that stuff like that, but I just really like the fact that it has insects in it and just like all this nature and wildlife in it. I think that's so freaking cute. I love stuff like that. I don't know why. But I got the paperback edition of this book. This is the last book that I'm reading for FaerieAthon until we read The Queen of Nothing in November, because like I've mentioned before, I've already read The Cruel Prince and The Wicked King by Holly Black, and I will leave my Folk of the Air review in this video somewhere up at the top or in the description bar down below if you guys would like to check that out. But The Darkest Part of the Forest is an urban fantasy standalone, and this is the first urban fantasy standalone written by Holly Black that I've ever read, so I wasn't exactly sure what to expect going into the book, but so far what I know is that this book is about siblings Hazel and Ben who grew up in a world where fairies and humans live alongside each other, and there is this horned fairy magical boy who has been asleep in the forest and lives in a coffin for as long as Hazel and Ben can remember. And when all chaos breaks loose, Hazel believes that she has what it takes to become the heroine or the knight that saves them all. I'm guessing this is going to be kind of like your typical Holly Black fairy tale, and once again I really love how Holly Black's main female characters always take on really strong roles. I think that kind of representation is really important. I'm not going to predict a rating for this book just yet or give you guys too much on this book, but I will be sharing all of my thoughts on this book in my FaerieAthon wrap up, so you guys stay tuned for my next wrap up video, which is coming to you guys really soon. The next book I plan to read is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Jenkins Reid. I've been trying to find the time to read a good contemporary novel, and between me being in FaerieAthon and the Diviners Read Along, I haven't really found the time to read contemporary, and this is a contemporary romance novel, and I haven't read a romance novel in so freaking long. So this book literally has all of the features that I'm looking for. This novel narrates the story about the old Hollywood actress Evelyn Hugo, who decides to give her final interview to Monique Grant, who is an unknown journalist. I'm really excited to read this book, one for the drama and two for the old school Hollywood glamour. My anticipated rating is a 4 out of 5 stars, if not 5 stars, depending on several factors of course. The third book is Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray, and I plan to read this book in the month of September because I finished reading book 1 and I really like that book, so I decided to go ahead and get the rest of the Diviners series and complete the read along. And holy smokes, you guys, this series is actually really scary. This is the first historical fiction series I've ever read, and this is book 2 of the Diviners series, and this book follows the aftermath of the supernatural encounter that Evie O'Neill had with John Hobbs, who is the serial killer who came back from the dead. As Evie becomes more involved in the media and reveals her secret of being a diviner, she becomes America's sweetheart seer, and while Evie is living her best life, let's just say the other diviners aren't too pleased with her involvement in the media. I'm actually really pumped up for the subsequent books following this series because because after I finished reading book 1, I wanted more of it. So I am really happy that it's not over just yet. The next novel is also for the Diviners Read Along. It is Before the Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray, and we are reading this book this month in October. This novel explores more into the diviners' supernatural powers as they join forces to take on battles against terror in the city of New York. Once again, this novel is historical fiction and or paranormal fiction, and I'm really excited to read this book because I can't wait to see what else these diviners could possibly be up to, and I just can't get enough of that 1920s slang and how Evie's always saying and how and everything is Jake. I think that's like super adorable. The second book I plan to read in October is They Both Die at the End by Silvera. I thought this book would be a good read to read in the month of October because it would get me into that spooky vibe in preparation for Halloween. And just to refresh my memory, this fiction novel is about two strangers who get a call from Death Cast that they only have 24 hours to live, and as a result, for their own personal reasons, they decide to make one last friend before their end day and go on an adventure of a lifetime on their last day together. I'm expecting for this book to make me cry just a little bit. I don't know. I like to think that it takes a lot for a book to make me cry, but I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see how this one goes. The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black will be the first new release I'll be reading for FaerieAthon and in the month of November. So I'll be getting back into a little bit more fantasy, which I'll really be happy about because The Queen of Nothing is a highly anticipated release for me because it is the finale of the Folk of the Air series, which is my favorite series or fantasy series of all time so far. Pretty much Jude has been proclaimed the Queen of Elfame but has since been exiled by the King of Elfame, Cardan. So she's laying low for a while as she plots her return. So as you guys can imagine, this is seriously triggering my imagination. I know a lot of you guys have your own reservations of how you think this novel is going to end, and let me just say, if anyone has to die, it can be Locke, Nascasia, one of Cardan's little annoying friends, and honestly, to keep it real with y'all, Taryn can go too, to be honest. But yes, this book should be a 5 out of 5 stars if I'm happy by the ending. The next book I want to read in November, and one that is way overdue for me, is Coming by Michelle Obama. I got this book for Christmas last year and I have been meaning to read this book. I've just had so many other books to read, but I'm making it my priority to read it now. I'm really excited to read this memoir all about Michelle Obama's life and journey from her childhood to becoming a lawyer and the legendary impact she and her family have made in American history. This book was selected for Oprah's book club in 2018, and I'm just gonna go ahead and rate it a 5 out of 5 stars already because I love Michelle Obama. This next book is one that I have not yet mentioned on my channel and is way overdue for a read. It is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This is a fantasy action novel that is set in the world of Orisha, where all of the characters have magical powers and the land is filled with magic until one day suddenly their magic disappears and the king of Orisha has their people killed. That is when our main character Zelly comes into play, where she seizes her one opportunity to restore the magic back into the land and bring down the monarchy. I'm so excited that I'm finally getting around to reading this novel because after reading the synopsis, I think that this book is going to be a 5 out of 5 star read because I've never read a fantasy action novel before and I think it's going to be really intense. So I hope that I get to read this book before the month of November ends. In either late November or early December, I plan to read The Nowhere Girls by Amy Reid, which is another contemporary novel that I have featured on my channel, and I think I showed you guys this book in a book haul, and when I read the synopsis of this book, I was really surprised. It's about 3 girls from Prescott High who create an anonymous girl group that pretty much boycott all sexual encounters or interactions with the boys that make up the male student body to resist the sexist nature of their high school after they found out that this girl named Lucy was gang raped by the popular boys at their school. I feel like this book is going to kind of take me back to high school a little bit and put me into that frame of mind, but I also feel like that it's going to be a revolutionary feminist movement that I absolutely need in my life. Now we are moving along to the books that I'll be reading in the last month of this year, so I'll be capping this year off with some really nice books. For example, The Coldest Girl in Coldtown by Holly Black. This is a futuristic dystopian fantasy fiction novel that follows Tana, a girl who must go to Coldtown after she wakes up from a deadly attack at a party one night. She then bands with the other survivors from the attack, which is her ex-boyfriend and a mysterious vampire boy, and they all decide to go to Coldtown together. And the thing about going to Coldtown is that once you go to Coldtown, it's like impossible for you to escape. This book seems like it's going to be so much different from all the other Holly Black books I've read. It's giving me 4 out of 5 star read, but I think I may be surprised by this book, so I'm really excited to read it. The next book is Daisy Jones and the Six, and this is a contemporary rock star novel that follows the members of the band and their lead singer, Daisy Jones. The band, The Six, and Daisy Jones are up-and-coming rock sensations, and when they cross paths one day, a producer believes that they'd be such a huge success if they joined together as a group, and that is exactly what they do. So this book takes us along their journey as they rise and fall as a rock band, and I think that this is going to be one hell of a crazy ride that I'm really excited to get on. The second to last book I plan to read is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. This book I got not too long ago, so I didn't want to sit too long on my bookshelf like some of my other books. So I hope that I can get to this book before the year ends. This YA fiction novel is about a teenage aspiring rapper named Bray who posts a video online unaware that it would go viral and has become famous for something completely different than rapping. My one expectation going into this book is that I hope that it is so much different from The Hate U Give, like a completely different vibe, different storyline, different characters, new sass, all of that. Like I want something completely fresh, and you know, based on the cover and like the synopsis and everything like that, and I could be wrong, but it kind of reminds me of The Hate U Give a little bit. So I'm just hoping that it is completely different, and I know Angie Thomas is probably going to deliver in this one. I'll be capping my year off with a good old YA fiction romance novel, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. There are quite a few other John Green novels that I want to get as well, but this novel is about 16-year-old Hazel, who has been diagnosed with cancer and is reluctant to attend her support group, but when Augustus Waters shows up at her support group, she soon realizes that it was a great idea to attend after all, and her story is about to become completely rewritten, and she's about to go on a adventure of a lifetime and in the backdrop of Amsterdam. This book is also one of those books that is like written about another book, and I really love when that happens. This book also reminds me a lot of Everything by Nicole Yoon, and I will drop the link to that review in the description bar down below if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this book because I feel like it's going to make me feel an array of different emotions, and I just love when a book is able to do that for me, you know? Alright guys, that is my fall TBR pile. Make sure you guys leave your comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys are going to be reading this fall, if any of the books are similar to the ones that I have mentioned. I'm really excited to read your comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my YouTube channel and give this video a cheeky thumbs up if you enjoyed it, so you can get more videos like this from me on your feed. And let's try to get this channel to like 500 subscribers before the end of this month. I know that it's possible. I'm going to leave all of my social media links in the description bar below for you guys if you want to follow me on there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you've made it this far, you are totally awesome. You rock, all of the above. And I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. I'll talk to you soon. Until next time, bye.